So if you're running a business, you see a lot of challenges, but what are the real opportunities? And we were trying to get to the heart of the issue, talk about some of the challenges. This is not easy. Net zero is not easy. Energy transition is not easy. There's always these two words, easy to say, hard to do. And that's what we were trying to address. If governments can mandate and also give a bit of funding to get these projects going, there'll be demonstration projects that show people what is possible and show people that there's a way forward.
Tim, welcome to SETA Connect Studio and Sustain Asia Week 2024. Can you tell us about the session that you're leading and the topic that you're covering?
Sure, yeah. First of all, pleasure to come up to Thailand again from all the way from Singapore, so not that far. I know many people have traveled from a long way. But yesterday I was running one session where we had some very good speakers from the policy side looking at opportunities in low carbon. So if you're running a business, you see a lot of challenges, but what are the real opportunities? And we were trying to get to the heart of the issue. And on the panel, we had industry leaders and also financiers. We had a representative from the World Bank. The other representative was from the World Energy Council. And we really started to get at the heart of some of the issue, talk about some of the challenges. This is not easy. Net zero is not easy. Energy transition is not easy. If you get down to automotive, battery recycling is not easy. There's always these two words, easy to say, hard to do. And that's what we were trying to address.
Do you think more needs to be done by government?
I think absolutely, because a lot of this is price driven. So we're trying to move from a situation where we have a system that works, and the system has worked and been developed for over a century. And we're trying to replace that with another system that works, but because of physics and economics, it's not compelling for businesses just to take up and run with it. So some of the changes that will happen in energy transition will have to be mandated by government. And to get some of those industries going, I represent a company in Singapore called SunGreen H2. We make hydrogen electrolyzers. We need to get hydrogen projects happening, and a lot of that has to happen through government. And one of the messages that I like to give, and we gave from the stage, was if governments can mandate and also give a bit of funding to get these projects going, there'll be demonstration projects that show people what is possible and show people that there's a way forward. But unless the government step in, people will carry on going the old way, because let's face it, people are price driven, whether you're jumping on airplanes, jumping in ride hailing, purchases in supermarkets, everything can be driven, or is largely driven by price. Even if there are environmental and economic situations and huge liabilities hovering in the background, you don't see them when you're making buying decisions today.
Some of the conversation yesterday, people were talking about solar, wind, obviously the renewables. Somebody else was putting the case forward for nuclear. Where does the hydrogen fit? Do you think it is the way forward for decarbonising the power sector?
Absolutely. So if we are going to electrify a lot of activity, whether it's heavy industry, whether it's transportation, we're going to need more power.
Yeah.
So Asia, of course, is a big net importer of power. And if we look to renewables in our zone around the world, around the equator, where we happen to be in Southeast Asia, there's not a lot of wind and there's not a lot of solar irradiance. There is some, and governments are maximizing what they can do. But it's really when you get into northern and southern regions that things like wind power at scale really kicks in. Countries like Taiwan and Japan, for instance, and Korea. So that's where there's an opportunity. But hydrogen has a role. Hydrogen is a molecule, it's an element that's been known for a long time, right? And
it's very costly at the moment. Is that cost going to come down?
This is the key thing. So hydrogen is used today in things like refining processes. It can be used for storage and conversion back into fuel cells, lots of applications. But you're right, it's like a lot of things, whether it's sustainable aviation fuels, which currently cost 3 to 5 times more than jet fuel. Yes. You need to bring the cost down. That's one of the things we're doing at SunGreen with our technology, is we're starting to get hydrogen down to $3 a kilogram, starting to get to that magic number. And we're also eliminating precious metals. So there's innovation. And you mentioned governments. I think one of the roles for government actually is to say, how do we crowd more innovation into energy transition projects? So I mentioned hydrogen has been known for like 100 years. Electrolysis has been known for 100 years. But unless you get the price of electricity down, you're going to struggle to get the cost of hydrogen down. So what we're doing at SunGreen is we've got very innovative processes. We use a lot of material science. We use a lot of electrochemistry. We're innovating at the hydrogen electrolyzer stack level as well as the electrode level. But as we're a new company, when people look at us, they say, you're young. Is your technology proven? We've done a lot of lab testing. We've got a lot of data from client sites. But in some cases, that's not good enough. So yesterday, I was asking a question about governments mandate a lot of local content. They want content brought into their country to create good, clean, green jobs. We can do that with SunGreen. But if we get shuttered out of projects because our technology is too new, even though we've got the data to prove that it's durable, it's flexible, it's a great way of bringing costs down, then we get crowded out by what is in effect old technology being dressed up as new technology. So this is where I think there is a role for government. Mandate at least 20% of projects to be innovation content.
Keep up the great work at SunGreen and have another great day at Sustain Asia Week 2024. Thanks for being with us at SETA Connect Studio.
Thanks very much. Absolute pleasure. Thank you.